welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take another close look here at ICP Internet Computer Protocol, because I think that in next to no time we're going to be seeing amazing price action here on ICP. I'm going to be explaining that in today's video and also show you the price targets that we're anticipating, immediate short term, and really the whole landscape here. There is one specific chart that is screaming volumes that you know what, it may actually happen in less than 40 or maybe 30 days. Let's see. All right, before we start, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It will just tell the YouTube algorithm that this video is very much relevant. Of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because I do TA on ICP and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. Let's just get right into it here. We are talking about, you know, the Bitcoin dominance, because as you can see, we have formed this falling wedge, and it means the Bitcoin dominance is dropping down and will likely continue dipping lower, meaning that ICP and the rest of the other altcoins are going to be massively outperforming Bitcoin, which means upward price action. Obviously, that's really great, but there is something that is really special about a moment in which we are here today, because if we look back at the last altcoin season that we saw in 2021, we saw it happening right here, right around that 59.60 mark here in terms of the dominance, and check where we are today, right on that spot. So I think you know, something can happen very much quickly here, because what you also saw back in the day is that when this level was lost, it was really a quick drawdown in that, you know, Bitcoin dominance, meaning altcoins just started flying. But one thing that is even much more encouraging is the time frame in which this actually wrapped up very much quickly. So again, if you take your ruler here and try to measure how long this was from the moment of breakdown until it found support, we see that this was just about 42 days. So coming back to where we are, we already know that this kind of structures, which we call an escalator towards the upside, when they start dropping, they drop down as if you're using an elevator to go downstairs, right? So this is going to be happening as fast as it was in 2021 right there. And this is where I'm getting the time frame to say, well, maybe right around 40, you know, 50 days at max, that we're going to be seeing, you know, altcoins peaking as well as ICP. So I think this should be coming as great news. Obviously, it doesn't make sense for a lot of people to say that, look, we have been going sideways for like 3-4 years here. How can you anticipate the bull run to be done in like 51 days? Actually, this is just how things play out in crypto. You tend to spend most of the time, you know, just going down, and probably it's like 5-10% that we, you know, remember so much, and where the most of the gains are made here. And of course, I'm anticipating the same thing here to happen for ICP Internet Computer Protocol. So I don't believe that we have long left in this market, but that has me already excited, because we have waited for a very long time for, you know, something like that to happen. Let's go ahead and talk about price targets here for ICP, and what I'm using here is the market cap of ICP Internet Computer Protocol. I think I've shown you time and again that, look, this thing has got a very great falling wedge, and we know that falling wedges have got a very high success rate of above 66%. So we have got more than a 66% chance to go ahead and reach the top of the range, and that's where we start, you know, asking for price targets here. How high is that, right? So if you take a look at this from the, you know, left to the right, you can see we have somewhat of a resistance right there, and also that is our technical price target for the you know, falling wedge that we just mentioned. But you also recognize that from where the price is sitting until that point, we're only looking right around like at 310%. Now, I don't believe that ICP can only do it 300% from where it is right now. In fact, this will just be the beginning, because once you also look left here, you realize that there is not much resistance that will be left there. Mind you, this chart is the market cap of ICP since inception, and you can see that, you know, the highest that the price reached and in terms of its market cap was right around like, you know, a 68 billion. Maybe we could just pound it up to 78 billion dollars in terms of the market cap, right? But now that everything is in full circulation here for ICP, it means that the price and the market cap are going to be growing just at the same pace. So what this means is that if there is no resistance on the market cap, as you can see on the left side here, it also means that there is not much resistance in terms of the price action. This is why I always say time and again that, look, when ICP gets to right around like $20, there is going to be a lot of interest in terms of the price, because people are always attracted to things that are moving, right? Yes, ICP has not been moving just like the rest of the, you know, market, not because ICP is, you know, dead or anything like that, but these markets, they move in seasonality, right? They also happen to move in tandem. And once you have great price action, it also encourages, you know, even greater price action, because there will be more demand, more people piling in and stuff like that. So my thesis here time and again has been that once we get to $25, $23 thereabout, as is being suggested by, you know, this resistance here, you will see ICP go for something like this, even in a much more straight line. I think there is also a chance in which we can hit a higher market cap than $70 billion. However, I just want to be a little bit conservative than that, and I want to go for something lower, in which I'll be using my Fibonacci retracement from this moment, in which we say is our highest resistance. What I'll be looking forward to now is a break of this falling wedge and at least hit the golden ratio, which is like the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, and that is a 700% from where the price is sitting. So if you do the math, 7 multiplied by the current price of right around $6, you get to a price target of there about $48, close to $50 basically, right? And remember what I just said, right? When these prices are going to be rising, people are just going to be piling in, so going to be seeing a lot of irregularities by there in terms of like the price action shooting almost in a straight line. So $48-50 is a good initial price target right there. However, I also anticipate this whole thing to go ahead and stretch all the way towards the full scale, and from where the price is sitting here, we are now looking at right around like a 17-16x thereabout, and I think this is much more enticing. So in that sense, if you multiply with current price, you get to $100 thereabout. These are like very reasonable price targets that I see for ICP right now, right? So $50, $100. But you've also heard me in the past talk about a price target of as high as $200. Yes, that's something that I have, but I'm not going to be waiting all the way up there, because we don't have to only wait for one price target. But we take profits as we continue going higher, not picking out one specific number, because if you do that, what if it never gets hit? Are you going to be taking a round trip back to another minus 99%? That's not going to be too good, right? So obviously we're going to be looking at like things which are very realistic here. $50 is a very good spot. $100 is also a very good spot. $200 is also something that I see as the best for this bull run, but it's probably only going to be 25% that I'm going to be selling, while the rest I think we would have done much more exiting before we even get this. So this definitely is a very bullish setup for ICP.